Welcome back to Nicool's Notions. We are continuing to go through the 501 must-see movies. And since it's December and Home Alone is in the book, you bet I watched Home Alone. Look what you did, you little jerk. This is one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies. It is absolutely a must-see. If you haven't seen it, stop watching this video right now and go watch it. It's so funny. It has great writing, amazing acting, classic story, and just the detail in this movie. John Hughes is the writer and Chris Columbus directed it. So Kevin McAllister, who's played by Macaulay Culkin, gets left home alone while his whole family flies off to Paris. They totally forget to bring him and only realize he's missing when he's on the plane. And it's amazing because the night before they leave, there's so many little details. They have a spilled milk scene, and when they're cleaning up the milk, they show that they accidentally throw out Kevin's ticket, which is why when they go through airport security or they're checking the tickets, they're not saying, hey, you have an extra ticket. So they get on the plane because the stewardess doesn't know that there's a person missing. When they go to count, they have one of the older children count to make sure all the children get in the van, and there's a neighborhood boy who's about the same age who's kind of looking through the van, and she counts him mistakenly as Kevin. So there's so many little things that make it plausible that they would have left him, which I thought it's really cute. They put a lot of detail into it. Another detail that I noticed when I watched it this time that I've never noticed before is that when they're having the whole commotion the night before, they talk about how one of the girls says to another girl, did you order the pizza? And the other girl says, no, Buzz ordered it. And Buzz is the older brother that has the confrontation with Kevin about the cheese pizza. And I am totally convinced that Buzz didn't order a cheese pizza on purpose, knowing that his brother wanted it. J'accuse! All those tiny details that make this movie amazing. And one of the best parts about the movie also is the soundtrack. So John Williams does the soundtrack, and he is one of the most successful and well-known composers. He also does Jaws, he does Indiana Jones, he does Star Wars. I mean, if you go to this guy's IMDb, it's filled with tons of huge movies that he does. And one of my favorite soundtracks and one of the most memorable is Home Alone, by far. Now, if you have Disney Plus, you will see that there is Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Home Alone 3, and Home Alone 4. Now, just going to give you a public service announcement. Macaulay Culkin is only in 1 and 2. 2 is when he's lost in New York, and it's the same bad guys, and Donald Trump is actually in that movie. If that makes you watch it, or maybe makes you not want to watch it. 3 and 4, it's a completely new cast. It's just the same concept of the burglars and the booby traps and the slapstick comedy. It can't hold a candle to 1 and 2. Just stop at 1 and 2. Unless you have kids. You know what? No, it's not even worth it. Don't subject the children to it. Just do 1 and 2. And if you need more Home Alone, watch 1 and 2 again. Just skip 3 and 4. As far as I can see it, there are 3 heroes in this movie. So 1 is the tarantula that helps Kevin get away from the burglars. 2 is the old guy that saves Kevin at the end from the burglars. And 3 is John Candy. John Candy plays a polka king that gives Catherine O'Hara a ride. And he's freaking hilarious. So perfect in this movie. The perfect amount of funny, crazy awkwardness. He's just a lovely, lovely man. One of the best parts of this movie is John Candy for sure. And my favorite scene is actually the church scene with the old man. So hero number 2, if you're keeping track. And he's at the church, he runs into Kevin, and he's going to see his granddaughter sing because he had a huge fight with his son, and he hasn't seen his son in years, and he wanted to see his granddaughter sing, but knows that he can't go when his son's there. And he has this heart-to-heart with Kevin. They have a really good exchange, and Kevin's just why don't you call your son? And the old man's because I'm afraid. And Kevin just says something well, if you call him, then you'll know if he wants to talk to you or if he doesn't want to talk to you. And if he does, great. And if he doesn't, then you don't have to waste time being worried about it or having all this anxiety. And it's a scene that always gets me every time. I always get a little teary. It always hits home. It makes so much sense, and it always like puts things into perspective a little bit for me. So keep your eyes out for that scene. And we're gonna continue to do some holiday movies in December. And if you want to like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, you know, all those things. That would be great. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see you at the next video. Have a great week.